Hi, I'm here to talk about Star Trek Lower Decks, um, which was a show that I wasn't too sure what I'd think of it, because it seemed like a very comedic Star Trek show, so I didn't know if it would be a lot of fun, I didn't know if it would be annoying. I think that Lower Decks is a cartoon show that I have somewhat mixed feelings about. Um, there are certainly a lot of really funny moments. Um, there was some stuff that I did really enjoy. There's some references to other Star Trek things that I really like. Uh, there's a few guest appearances that I appreciate. But I do think a problem for me when it comes to Lower Decks is that the main characters aren't quite interesting enough for me to want to follow. I don't think that any of the main characters in Lower Decks are bad. I think they have some funny moments and some cool qualities, and they can be interesting at times, but none of them are quite interesting enough to the point where I want to follow them on lots of adventures. Uh, they don't quite have enough compelling qualities or enough funny qualities for me to really be interested in them for the type of show that Lower Decks is. But there is a supporting character that I love in the show. The doctor in the show is hilarious. She's a great character. Pretty much any scene with her is great. And I laughed so hard when that character was on screen, and I wish so badly that she was a more prominent character in the show because I think she really uh, brings up the level of quality when she's around. Uh, and I feel like if the main characters were on that level of entertainment, I think that I would love Lower Decks. But I think I'm more at like a thinking that Lower Decks is decent. Like I think it's good for some quick laughs. I think the episodes are like half the length of an episode of the live action Star Trek shows. So I think it's good for some quick amusing stuff. Uh, but the main characters feel like not quite compelling enough for me to be super interested in what's going on. Although thankfully, they aren't actually that annoying, which I think is good because I did feel concerned that some of the characters could end up being really hard to watch, and I was thinking there could be characters that got on my nerves. Thankfully, the characters in Lower Decks didn't do that. But aside from the Doctor, I didn't feel too interested in what was going on with the Lower Decks characters. So I think it's a decent Star Trek show. I think it has a solid enough amount of good laughs, but not enough to have a big, strong emotional impact on me, and not quite entertaining enough for me to love. But I do feel glad that I gave it a chance because of how funny the Doctor is.